please, like, stop me. Like, folks that can't get to the point. Like, so you tell me what we about to do, right, or what I'm about to hear, and then you never get to it? No, stab me. There's too many of those shows. Stab me. ASAP. So, like, a lot of people still do that kind of stuff. I don't like those kind of shows.
Out of town for a little bit, right?
Yeah, I went to well, I did a crazy thing. I went on the train to Minneapolis. No, I took a plane there, but then I came back on the train. It was
What?
wild.
Like
Minneapolis.
Amtrak?
Yeah. Like,
Ooh.
I have a whole thing happening right now. It's like part of my like healing. I'm like, let me just take I saw the train on YouTube. YouTube got me. I'm a nerd nigga. Like, I'm a train nerd nigga right now. Like, YouTube converted me into like, oh, that looks peaceful, to like, I want to try that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So you took a train.
Yeah. So I've been taking trains all summer, mad different places, but the last place you're talking about was the Midwest. I went to the Midwest. Yeah. So I went to Minneapolis to take a furniture upholstery class because I'm also a craft nerd. So I did that, and then I went to Chicago because if you're outside, you might as well be outside before you come back inside. So Minneapolis to Chicago, Chicago to New York.
Okay, well you picked the perfect time to be in Chicago because there are definitely times that you do not want to be outside.
Yeah, summer
in Chicago. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because that winter, Chicago winter is nothing to play with.
I would have went straight to New York. Yeah, no.
And how long is that trip, by the way?
The first part was 8 hours, Minneapolis to Chicago. Then Chicago, you ready? Chicago to New York, 22.
So,
It was wild too.
Let me just.
I love it.
Because I'm from the Midwest. And actually, I keep saying Midwest, and I don't know why I keep saying that because I should just say the city. Because what I realized, Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah. Big Midwest. Yes. I did not see that shit all the way yet. Like, I didn't even touch that Wisconsin.
Okay, I just have a little story about that before I get, because I will always remember, and it's kind of sad, but I will always remember when I was working at 5th Ave and 59th at Apple Store. I was a fake genius, basically, fixing phones. I will always remember this black dude came up to me. He was one of the and he was like, "Yo, so where you from again?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm from the Midwest." And I always did. He was like, "Yeah, but where?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm from Madison, Wisconsin." He was like, "Oh, yeah, so they." I just heard that there's a black dude that got shot out there. And I was like, yeah, Tony Robinson. He was like,
you knew him?
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew the school he went, everything. But the reason why I'm telling that is because whenever I would say where I'm from Madison, they would be like, "Oh, are there black people there?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, there are black people there. Yes, cheese, ha, ha, ha. But this was the first time that he understood that he was like, "Oh yeah, there are black people there," and I was like, and the reason why is because someone got shot.
Yeah,
a black person.
That's why they know.
That's what we can understand. He's like, "Oh, I don't believe it when you tell me a black person you being here. Oh, you're from there, but somebody got shot. Oh, okay, that I can accept.
It's black people there.
Yeah, there's definitely black people there because
enough to be getting shot.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden." In Wisconsin, there was another guy that was shot in Racine, like he was paralyzed and a bunch of.
Oh,
anyway,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, the Midwest is crazy. I mean, there's a reason why.
Yeah.
What's his name? George Floyd happened out there in Philando Castile.
Right.
They think it's like Minnesota nice. And,
yeah.
Oh, it's not. oh, the South is so different, but I'm like, no, it's
No.
almost worse because it's like,
It's the South of the Midwest.
right,
Right,
exactly.
like-
It's the South of the Midwest.
Yeah.
Wow, that kind of put me for a loop. Anyway, I'm sorry. Still back to the train thing.
Oh yeah, I was definitely on there with some thugs though, but it's just what it is.
Thug how thug and how?
I just felt the energy. There's an energy. And these two gentlemen, they were together, and then one of them came over because the train is very communal. And I actually, because I had been taking it, but I always stayed in my seat. So this time I said, TK, go out your comfort zone, go in the communal area and just sit, because like. It's true. People will just talk to you. This lady, I sat for 30 seconds. She was like, "It's beautiful out there." And I was like, "Oh, it's happening. They're talking." Yes, it is.
Right.
It's beautiful. How you doing? Damn, she knew my name. She went and got some lunch, came back, saw me sitting in the same place, gave me a piece of cake. So like when the seat opened up next to me, the black guy came to sit.
Right.
And there was an energy.
Right.
And then I don't know, he started talking like a bunch of spiritual stuff, which I'm into to a point. Then it got spiritual, like, ooh, like the rapture. Like, got really, and I was like, wow. And I'm like, well, why is homeboy taking a train? Like, really?
Right.
Right? I'm like, but I was like, I could also, let me just mind my business, because he just kept going on about like they, them, and I was just like, let me just listen and
So
just.
it wasn't on some like pastor kind of spiritual. It was more.
It was
like,
esoteric, spiritual, leaning into photepery.
Photepery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Near that photepery, like that Black Queen sister. This da da da.
But he was nice.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm here to have an experience.
That's
so
how
I
they
allowed
usually
it
are.
to
That's how they start out.
and he was like, "You want a beer?" And I was like, "Oh." You know what I'm saying? I could listen to 5 more minutes of this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For a White Claw. So
Okay.
I did get my White Claw. We chatted some more, or I listened some more.
Right, because of course
I'm not one of the
you're not- you can't really be
144,000. I'm not going up with him, So
I just never.
that's what happened. That was part of my conversation series.
The thing like about like just a hotep in general is that it kind of kills me that it kind of got taken from an intelligent black man speaking about something, and then it just had to get twisted.
That's why I always like jump in when people say hotep instead of like photep or something. Like I always want to make that line clear, like that there are people and there is a belief and that is a thing. And I do believe in like fucking peace and all that and love and righteousness and black power. But there's also that line where it becomes
That toxic masculinity starts creeping in.
patriarchal, toxic, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, that's not it.
Right.
Where it mimics white folks, but to each other. And I'm like, so I like try to, because I like to joke a lot. So I'm like, I don't want to be irresponsible with it. So I'm like, you was a photep dude, and that's what he was giving. But he also was very nice about it. So,
Can you think of any photeps just off the dome right now? Like, are there any photeps that you can think of?
I mean,
Notable photeps.
Oh, notable. Okay, I was
Yes.
gonna say like find me
You're
10 dudes.
like,
I
well,
tell you,
mean,
7 of them are probably.
I
like,
woke up today. Yeah, is that, no, I know.
I was
that.
like, go down to Fulton
It's a-
Street. Like what?
125th, Malcolm. Yeah.
I mean, would you classify Dr. Umar?
Oh, he's of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
he's
Yeah, I mean, he's the top
he's
photep.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm not editing. I'm self-editing. Like, I'm like, I mean, this is up for debate. Would Sean King?
Well, first of all, is he? I mean, Talcum X. All them names. I think
we should leave it there.
Yeah. So I mean, even if he wanted to be in the conversation, we gotta
we have to go
deeper. Know some things about him first. Look, if he was, then yes, he would be for sure.
And I just like none of my business.
Right.
Yeah.
Where's that money going? Is that what you wrote? Is what you've been writing true? Anyway, yeah, that's
That took a turn.
I enjoy that. But I mean, speaking of transitions, because on the train, TK, you're here today because you are like the podcast goddess. Everything,
I received that.
Yeah. Everything that has to do with podcasts, you are that. But before you were the podcast goddess, you were a nurse?
Yes.
You were in healthcare.
I was a healthcare professional right out of high school. I went to nursing school while in high school. It was one of those, do half day high school, half day your vocational thing. And of course, my parents are Caribbean, they're Haitian, so they found the way. They found it. They found the one. They found it. My mom came in my room and she was like, "So, how you gonna go to college?" I was like, "Yeah, right." Like to me, college was a thing that you just do because I saw people on TV doing it. So I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, "How?" And she was like, I was like student loans or whatever. And she's like, "Well, you gotta get a job. Like you gotta like get a trade or something." And she was studying to become a nurse, but she had already been around healthcare. My uncle's a doctor. Her sister was training to become a doctor. So it was like all over the family because like that's part of the thing. And she was like, "You'd be good at it. Let's go see about it."
Because so I'm curious, right?
Yeah.
Because there's always especially with Africans, West Africans, you have to be either a lawyer, doctor,
Yes.
a business person. And what I try to make people understand is that even though education is important, it's not mostly about education. They want a job that you can make money.
Yes.
So like, do you hear teacher in that? And no.
Nope.
They're not talking about teaching.
Nope.
You can't make any money with that. Therefore,
no.
No. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I want to know especially within the Haitian community, because you're Haitian, was that kind of just expected in those kind of three things? Is that why? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's the same.
Because like I also
Africans.
was also around it. Like it's just what you do or engineer, right? I feel like that's another one. Right?
You're right.
Engineer.
But maybe not civil engineer though, because
they don't make no money.
Well, you got to hop from project to project, so it's very dependent on.
I didn't know that because I don't think the engineers in my family or the people that work in. I think they just told us that they're engineers, and I don't really know what their job is. I just know, I just literally found out that my uncle worked for the government.
Okay,
right. But I didn't know that because I think he just told my grandma and them engineer. Yeah. So I still don't know what half my family does because they just put a blanket. They just pick one of the three and just say, "I'm a doctor."
Right.
Meanwhile, they might just not.
So there's that one facet, and then a lot of things that Africans do when they come over.
Yeah.
Especially women, is that they become like caretakers.
Yes.
Like they work in
home health aid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And is that another?
That. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, Haitian. Yeah. That's why y'all part of the African Union.
Oh, we're
you know what I mean? Y'all in there.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
they brought us far don't bring us this far to leave us out.
Right. Exactly. So you were doing your nursing thing, and how long were you a nurse for?
16 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right out, so I graduated in 99, and then I got a job in late 99, but I feel like I counted in 2000. From 2000 to 2016 officially, I was doing different nursing jobs, so private care, pediatrics. Pediatrics is what kept me in it so long, because I knew that it wasn't for me, but I also had an aptitude for the work, so I can do it. I enjoy it? You know what I'm saying? There was that battle that, I could do this. I could literally do this, live, get a house, do all the things they want me to. But the depression started to come, and and I had to switch this shit up.
Where and what times did you find that depression? Why was that creeping up?
Because I always had a different thing I wanted to do, right? So I would find a way to do it on the weekends or at night or in the day, depending on my shifts. So I was nursing, but I was also doing audio, throwing parties, hosting weddings. I was oh, these things I would get. I would get high. I called it show high. I would get so high.
Right.
So like you turn and you like, yo, this is the life I want to live. It's exciting. I'm talking to people. People come and pat me on the back, like literally. Like, so you go from like working in this really hard field, and like sometimes when you do private care, it's very isolating. It's you and a patient, and it was children. So I couldn't even talk to these people. It was just me and a 4-year-old, an unwell child for 12, 16 hours. So like that was a low. I would feel like not good. I feel terrible. I'm like, what am I doing here? Social media had just kind of like, I would say around 08, 09, people started going on Twitter and stuff, right? So like I found a lot of community there, and like I would literally like go to the restroom at work and tweet like you know how they used to do Follow Friday and like different hashtags or something. I don't know what the hashtag was, but I was just like, show some love. It's Wednesday and somebody talk to me. Like I just wanted my responses to light up.
Yeah.
Because I was so isolated, so alone, so all that stuff. So whenever I had a gig, even the like, yo, TK, come do this thing for $50. I was out. I was there, bro.
$50. I'm there.
Never again. But yes.
Yeah.
But I would do it. I would be like, yo, this is like the best. Like, so I wanted to feel the high all the time. And then was like, all right, 16 years, and I can't do both. I gotta choose one.
So what was I don't know, what was the event or what was the final thing that made you say, okay, I think this is something I can do for real?
Yeah.
And you left nursing behind.
Little by little, I had to do it. So I couldn't do it like this, like,
right.
Just a sharp cut. And because I did try to quit. It didn't work. I didn't have a plan. So I went back in, and I felt shitty about that. And I said, I never want to go back. If I'm out, I'm out. So I had to just lessen my days, 5 days to 4 days, 4 days to 3 days, 3 days and other gigs, right? So then once the other gigs start to overtake, then I start feeling confident, right? And I'm like, okay, I could pay, some bills with this. Now I'm on 2 days of work. And then I get more gigs, then you start to switch out. And then one day I saw a class, and I applied for this class, and it was like, podcasting and stuff. Like I had went to college for TV radio, but that was in 2005. Podcasting had not really, there was no focus. So I hadn't learned the things that I needed to learn. I had a structure. This is what you do on the radio, which I was on, but I had not done podcasting yet. So I went to this class, paid for it out of my pocket, went into debt like 6 months. That week of class cost me 6 months in the red after, but it changed my whole life. Because then that class, people were talking about certain things, I'm listening, and from there, it was like a spider web. So from the class, somebody mentioned a festival. They were like, you need to be, or we all need to go to this podcast festival. It's called Third Coast. It's in Chicago. So I'm like, well, how do I get to Third Coast? I don't got no money. I don't spent it all on here.
Take the train, obviously, like you did before.
I know. Well, now, future TK takes the train. Right. Past TK, I should have thought about that.
Right.
But they were like, somebody was like, well, you can apply to this to be a volunteer. Apply to be a volunteer. They told me no, but then they said, you should apply to this program. They have like for underrepresented people in audio, blah, blah, blah. I got in that program. That was part of it, sent me and the rest of the cohort to Third Coast. Met mad colleagues there. That became the beginning of the thing. Like, I started meeting colleagues. I also, when I took this class, I was like, oh, I know these skills. I just needed to formalize them. Then I took that class. I took what I learned. I brought it back to the hood. I started offering it to our people.
That's amazing.
As another way to like, A, retain the skills, B, make money while I'm going, pairing back. So I ended up teaching it as well.
Right.
I took the class. I already had my own personal skills, taught a version of it, which is like the basis for everything I tell people still in 2023. And here we are.
So there are two things I got to know. First, how did that conversation? I mean, you're grown, obviously, but how did that conversation go with your parents when you're like, I'm going to leave this very stable, very and I'm giving all the flowers to nurses, prestigious job to
Noble. Oh my God, people they eat that shit up,
right.
Like
So how did that conversation go? You're going from this to podcast. What?
Man, I couldn't even explain it. I just had to do it, like, and also when I realized I put myself through college, and so early I realized, like, you can't tell me what to do if I'm paying for it. So by the time we got to me switching, it was just the discomfort of their, like, attitudes. But it was also just like, well, she's gonna do whatever she wants.
Like, look, hey, as long as
she's not
coming out of my pocket,
yeah,
that's fair.
So they weren't fond of it at first, and they didn't really understand it. Like, they literally had to see third parties, like, be like, "Oh, TK, you did a great job." Like, they literally have to see someone else tell me that, "Oh, I heard you on the thing."
Right.
High five.
So the word from their own daughter, that's not enough.
I couldn't.
We need to hear from someone else.
I invited my dad to see me on a panel.
Right.
Like, I'm like over here with the, like, business casual, cross my legs and shit. Like, yo, like, did you see that? Like,
right.
Pops, did you see me out there? And then, like, I think they started to get it slowly.
It's
so
the validation of others that actually makes them go over that. Okay. So I mean, you did your thing in radio, and then you started. So podcasting was around, and you were saying 05, 06?
Oh, yeah. Because, like, long as you had, like, people were doing dial-up, you just was a pain in the ass. Yeah. I opened an online radio station, and one of our broadcasters actually started, like, his podcast started in 05. And he was uploading stuff. That's what he was doing. And in 05, and then, like, he just carried it over to now. But yeah.
I mean,
it just wasn't formalized.
So, I mean, because I know you've referred to the podcast or, like, podcasting industry as, like, the Wild Wild West. Like,
yes.
it was that open.
Yeah.
And do you feel like it's still that open now?
It's getting more controlled, sort of.
Yeah.
You can still do whatever you want, right? Like, we have so much more access now. Like, the computers are cheaper. This shit, did your computer drop on the floor right now? In 2 weeks, you go fund me, get another one. But
well, yeah, but you might have to do some other favors, some other things. But
in 05, it would take you 6 months, right? Sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You'd have to do a whole bunch of things. Like, yo, it was just not. It was not the same. It was more room for experimentation, but also, like, in that you just didn't learn, like, the right thing, that there's a way to do certain things, that, like, so we all had to go through this, like, this sound is terrible. How do we all make it better? Like, the first wave of podcast niggas, like, we all sounded crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And then you realize, oh, well, we have to level shit. Okay, so now we're getting formalized. Then you get to 2013 and shows like Serial come out. And, motherfuckers heard niggas walking on the leaves. Oh, forget it. Right. True crime everywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they was like, we want to, Serial, the breakout podcast. And I'm like, oh my God, because niggas walked on leaves?
Right.
So then I'm like, let me. So it's like, meanwhile, the investigation, apparently, like the journalism, it's questionable. But it set the tone.
Right.
And then from there.
And it showed like how big podcasts could get.
And how like nice it could sound. And like you could go around and basically act like you was on Dateline. And then put it on the computer.
Stone Phillips and shit.
Yes.
I don't know how that dude's name just came into my head. So I mean, but like our podcasts and because I know some people listening to this now, and I think I still kind of feel this way.
Mm-hmm.
But as someone who knows all about podcasts and has been there from the very beginning, if someone was like, "Oh, podcast is just like radio," you would say what to them?
Okay, because I have a deep affinity and respect for radio.
Okay.
A lot of the like newer folks, like they're like, it's two different things. It is. However, I think I need us to respect the game.
Okay.
Right? And everything that we see now already been, right? So like when people were like coming up with like audio fiction or like in the current times, and they were acting like they'd never heard a story on the radio. And I was like, so you were like the Scrooge shit. Like I used to listen to that on the radio, and I'm like, these are people have done this. Like we need to learn from them. I think a lot of podcast folks want to what's the word? Like they want to create as if there's no baseline. There's no nothing. And the difference would be the live clock, and there's no live clock. Like we can edit the heck out of this, you know? But then the live clock, I have to pay attention. I got 45 minutes to do this. I got 3 guests, a segment at the top, a segment at the bottom. How do I fit this in? Oh, one of them didn't show up. Now I'm filling air. So can you talk to niggas live? Right? So I be looking at people and they have their script, and I live for a script. But I think when you have both experiences, you are more valuable than a person that has one experience, and you are more valuable to me if you come from radio. I could teach you podcasting faster because you know, like, okay, well, damn, I need to riff. I need to fill time. I need to address the current events. Okay, 9/11 just happened. I'm ready to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I find my heroes come from that space. You know, like, and especially like Black radio people. I love Black radio people, but my favorite Black radio person that I had to learn about later because I was not alive, but Petey Greene from Washington, D.C. Don Cheadle played him in Talk to Me.
Okay.
And
I think I saw the trailer or something like that for it. Okay.
I stood up in the theater. I was by myself, stood up.
By myself.
Clapping.
But yeah.
I said, did y'all... It was 6 other people in the theater on a matinee in a white neighborhood, y'all.
Right.
Meanwhile, we just watched this very Black movie about this very Black radio guy. I said, just me, guys. Okay.
And you kept, you like, why
not? I clapped anyway. Yeah.
PD. Okay. First of all, I mean, Don Cheadle's one of my favorite actors, so I definitely want to. And what kind of stuff did he do? Just
he
real
was
quick?
On the air in DC, so he was like, he was your classic jive talking, once upon a time, been in jail. You know what I'm saying? He had a colorful life, and somehow that talk found him. Somebody put him on the radio, and they would just like tell them the songs that's playing, and just like how, what's the weather and what you thinking. And he started talking that good shit, and then they put him on cable access.
Okay.
Then he was just really about it, like, and very Black about it, unapologetic. So he was kind of became the avatar for like Black people in DC. But what he really came to be known for was that when there were riots out there during the civil rights era, he went on the air and he was like helping to calm down the city. He's like, don't go outside. We don't need to be doing this. And, like in his style, and like a lot of the people from the city got their news that way and they listened to him. So like, I just revere him for that. And
so he was like Black Twitter before.
Yeah.
Twitter, okay.
Yeah.
Or actually a whole bunch of things rolled into one. Facebook, IG. That's incredible. Do you have any other people like him that you looked up to or that like led to your formation into how you look at podcasting now? And they could be also podcasters too.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, and it's so wild because it's like she stands for something else now. Wendy Williams. She stands for something else now. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But also as a person that like, I know her New York trajectory. So it was a wild ride.
Okay.
But I definitely recognize a person that is grinding, right? Like she did the work. Her work was greasy. I don't have to like the work to know you did the work. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, at one point she was on the radio in like the Virgin Islands, like somewhere that we can't hear. So I just recognized that she came from a place. She put in the work. Then she went on TV. Like this is a person whose legacy that I would be crazy to not look at. I don't enjoy Howard Stern, but I respect, you know what I'm saying? The strides. I do not enjoy the content. I respect the gangster, though. Right. I respect the journey. Right. I respect the formation of a team. And so now I take that into podcasting and like, I'm outside. I'm doing interviews. I'm researching. I'm staying studied up on how to interview people. I'm trying to just do the work. so that when people call upon me, you know what they say about luck, it's opportunity and preparation. So I'm trying to stay prepared like they did, because then next thing you know, you got to talk niggas down from a civil right. I'm waiting for my civil rights time, my G. I'm waiting. Black Lives Matter.
I know. I mean, there was probably plenty of opportunities. I mean, and don't worry, they're still going to be coming. I mean, knowing what kind of place we're in.
It's tough.
Yeah, but so knowing having all of those elements, having your influences and like how you approach podcasting, what to you makes a good podcast?
Ooh, consistency, cohesiveness.
Oh wow, you were about to give me triple C's? I was like, oh.
I know. I'm like, is there another one? Yeah,
I was waiting for the third one.
Ooh, I don't think I have a third C. But it's just yo, like, does it make sense, or did you just decide to turn on a microphone? And I can tell very fast which one. And I could tell because I've done it. I've shown up and just talked shit. And it sounds like it. And like grown up me cringes, right? But you got to do dirt, you know what I'm saying, to like do good next time.
So what are those podcasts where you can just, because you know you are someone that gives executive editorial support.
Thank you.
as you give to this podcast. What are those things that you have to tell people in order for them to avoid those pitfalls?
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing there's some hosts or there's some talkers that can talk their shit and they sound fine. But what is it that you got to tell them in order for them to maybe be like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't go about things that way?
It mostly falls into the preparation round, because if you're over prepared, then you know what I'm saying? Like, I know all the ways that this could go. So then I'm gonna like at least be ready for a good amount of the ways this could go. So that like if I'm not ready at all, like if I just walked in here and I was unprepared for us to have a conversation, you could tell, right? Like you'd be like, she is bullshitting right now, you know? But I thought about it, right? And I'm like, well, what if we start here? And what if we start there? So like as a interviewer and as a person that's like trying to advise people on their story or the story arc of even from a chat show to a narrative, like, does it make sense? Are the facts the facts? Did you double check that? How do you say their name? Like, there's a million things to check on. And if I check on them, for me, if I'm over prepared, then I personally can relax more. So I usually, when it's me on your side, like I come in with mad notes. But then I don't even look at the paper. Like, you ain't even look at that. Like, you look, but you didn't look. You know?
Yeah. No, I mean, because right? You know, I got to make sure that
to go.
I'm still,
And I feel that. And I'm just like, yes, it's happening.
Feel safe.
I feel safe.
Yeah.
I feel held in this moment.
Hey, that's what I am. I'm the caretaker, you know?
That's it. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
You're the caretaker. You are asking someone, as a podcaster, a radio person, you are asking someone to share a vulnerable thing. Whether it's like a funny thing or a sad thing, you are holding space for this person, and like we need to respect that. And I think some people treat guests or just they treat podcasting like, all right, this is so easy, this is a fun thing. 2 mics, just come through the studio, no big deal. And I'm like, fam. God.
So I mean,
just come through the studio. Yeah. We rapping now.
Yeah.
And even at a rap session, I'd produce this shit. I'd be like,
exactly.
Do you have your raps?
Yes.
If not, we taking 5. I'm not paying for this studio time. Go back and write your raps. Don't come to my studio with no raps.
Because
niggas want to freestyle all the time.
Exactly. And you always have those moments where they're doing one of these and they're just like, I got those. Or like, I'm sorry, I always think of The Game.
Yeah.
And there was this compilation where he basically just rapped the same freestyle at different radio stations. Radio stations, the exact same thing. And I'm like, you are someone that doesn't take this seriously.
You gotta have a what's the word? Like a flow, rotation.
Right,
a rotation of writtens to go through, but also ain't nothing more embarrassing than they put on a beat and you have nothing. So I do rather he have it gets slippery. It gets slippery.
Yeah, but in this day and age, you're gonna get caught.
Right.
Like,
right. You need to.
And it's almost more embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather you be like what's his name, Tyler Creator, where he's like, I don't do that. I don't freestyle.
I love that.
Because what was the Sway? You know, he went on that show and he was just like, I mean, he did some stupid funny rap, and then he was just like,
it's just not me.
This is not me. This is not. I'm not a freestyle guy. You're like, don't come in here. He's like, all right, then I won't. Whatever.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, he can keep eating his cockroaches or whatever. But as someone that does editorial support, then I feel like there's another part of you then that does podcast education, which is like maybe different because you were an instructor. Yeah. You instructed me.
Yeah, we actually had a good time in that class.
Which was
I mean, you tell me I had a good time.
No, I asked mad questions, but that's just why. But what differences is then do you employ, whereas when you're editorial support or when you're an instructor? Like, what do you makes like? What are the core elements of like podcast education?
Yeah. I mean, I think instructing, I mean, like usually those people want to be there, right? So it's something they've opted into. So like they're very serious about the thing. The one thing I can't, like, it's like 30 people or even 10 people. It's just a lot of people. So like I have to be general, whereas when I'm giving consultant support or editorial support, I'm doing a one-on-one thing. So I can concentrate on your show or I can concentrate on the topic. But like when I'm teaching or when anyone's teaching, you have to generalize it and you have to spread all your like, you know, like your energy around, make sure everyone feels like, okay, I'm getting like one-on-one support. So like that was kind of hard to juggle when I was in that classroom, you know, setting. But then I really like it because I just like to be able to like sit with as many people at one time. I'm like, I like to broadcast and being in a class is just another broadcast, right? So it's just like, all right, how many people can I fucking get to do this thing at one time? Mm-hmm. Can I like, you know, so like sometimes when I'm doing, I haven't done a gig in a long time, but when I was doing gigs like live and stuff, to me, that's broadcast, right? Like I'm broadcasting joy. I want to make people dance. I want to make people party. So now I'm broadcasting education. And then when we do one-on-one, then it's like, okay, I'm focused on your thing. And that's more of like, what can I give you to make the one thing better? You know?
But so with podcasts, because you can have podcasts that are like interview based, like, I don't know, Mark Maron or Joe Rogan or something. But then you can also have podcasts that are like, you even mentioned Serial and stuff like that, where it's,
narrative.
You know, add narrative and episode. Do you approach teaching those kind of, because I don't even know, what could you even really teach when it comes, what are the differences with those?
Man, I mean, if y'all want some things to like, listen, y'all, there's so much room in this world to teach. Listen, teach equipment, teach marketing, teach each genre, right? Like some people are really good at chat shows. Teach how to put together a really good chat show. Teach how to, I'm a little weaker on the narrative side. I try not to touch it, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know about that. I think that's pretty good.
I received, and now I'm going to erase that, put it back on my resume that I'm good at that. But you know, like there's people that really specialize. So if you have that, yo, honestly, that would be a great skill set. Like someone to teach like that level of like, I'm just going to tell you how to write a story, like from episode 1 to 10 and like not confused. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's a lot. You got to, you know, get shit together. So like there's also people that do experimental podcasts. And what is experimental in a genre that's experimental? So there's just so much, bro. I'm too excited. I'm shaking now.
You got dang it. So then what are some of your favorite podcasts, whether it's interview or whether it's like that, capture that kind of excitement and fervor for you?
Okay.
I mean, I'm petty and I like to talk about, I would also like to talk about podcasts that you don't like, but you don't have to.
I don't listen to them.
Oh.
I mean, or I might like hear it in passing because someone else is playing it and I just decide in my head, I'm definitely not going back to that. Like, I just know I'm not going to ask. Like, you know, if you're doing something interesting, I'll be like, what you listening to?
But you see, that's what I want to hear though. What is it that you hear that you're like, oh, that ain't it?
Please, like, stop me. Like, folks that can't get to the point. Like, so you tell me what we about to do, right? Or what I'm about to hear. and then you never get to it? No, stab me. There's too many of those shows. Stab me. ASAP. So like a lot of people still do that kind of stuff. I don't like those kind of shows.
And by the way, how long is too long? Like with that,
that's an artistic.
That's what I want to ask, right? Because they can go on for a little bit, but how long is it that you're like, oh, I'm not listening? That's done. 5 minutes or what?
And this is where it gets. I mean, just this. This is where it gets hairy, right? Because if I like you, I'll listen all day. But if 25 people and it's just me, then something's wrong, right? Like I believe 25 people. So this is hard. But I do generally think like
this is the question. I like you're taking go ahead.
Once we hit in that like 10-minute area and of just banter and no points made, like literally we just checking in. How you doing, bitch? Fine. Like I made it here. Like what are we doing? What's the purpose? What's the mission? Like my thing is once they drop the ball on the mission and why we here, then like why are y'all talking still?
Right.
Like,
then what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Or the big ass wind-ups. So with a narrative show, it'd just be like, and then, we had to walk through and then you had to go down the level. Right. And, we then tangentially went to like the New York Public Library and then came through a secret laundromat. And I'm like, bitch, who got killed? Yeah. Like just.
You got to use the words tangentially. And right. Okay.
It's too much sometimes. So I think people get in trouble at the top of the shows a lot.
So then, all right. So then, going to the opposite of that, and we can give some flowers to some good shows. What are the podcasts that you either have kept listening to, or the ones that you're like, okay, this is good?
I mean, I listen to a lot of my friends' work, so I like what is that podcast called? I should have studied
like
this
you like
question.
It a lot, huh?
Nah.
You can't even remember it?
I know. No, because also this is the caveat of when you work in a thing.
Got you.
That I'm busy doing like my work, and I don't want to also do that during my leisure. So I have to decide what I want to listen to, and I don't really have favorites, honestly. My favorites are the favorite shows that I work on.
Fair. Okay.
Because I have to listen to the other episodes for research and stuff. So I really enjoy working on like Life Kit. That's an NPR show. Okay. And they just like, what to do in life about X thing. So I've done a couple of those. And I just like how it's like, here's what we're going to, you want to know a thing about life? Here's the topic about life. Okay. In the middle, here's two experts that's going to talk about this thing. And then at the end, like, did you enjoy that thing? Look at that. Concise. Solid as fuck, So, yeah. I can't think of any right now because, I don't know. I'm on the spot. My ADD is acting up. So
okay, that's fine. So, I mean.
I'm getting scrambled.
So then because, podcasts are your job, podcasts are your life. And I just heard about you talking about leisure. Like,
yes.
So what do you do when you are off the clock? When you're like, fuck podcasts, I'm not trying to do that. Yeah. What do you do just to.
I'm an extreme hobbyist.
What's that mean?
I will just find a thing. I'll be like, that's exciting. And then I'll do it. So like during the pandemic, I made a lot of ice cream. I went down a rabbit hole, learned about ice cream makers. I did bread twice. It did not. Like, it was hard. And it was a lot. It was why? Why? So many steps to come out with like, it was soft for one day and then the next day hard as a rock. So it just was not fun. But then I learned about ice cream. And I learned about ice cream machines. I bought a small machine and then I was like, I'm gonna graduate to a bigger one. Bro, I made ice cream like I say 3 times a week during the pandemic. So that was my like pandemic hyper focus, the first one. Then I switched to art.
So wait, hold on. Because I like to eat. And I got a sweet tooth. I'm still on the ice cream real quick. What is that? So wait, you mean like the frosty?
Like churn
or the churn thing?
Yeah.
And what goes into you? Just put milk, and then,
sugar.
Right.
Some people do eggs. I didn't graduate to eggs because I just didn't trust myself. Okay. To put eggs in a thing and do the custard. But milk, sugar, whatever the thing, the flavor or whatever you're putting in there. I just came up with some interesting stuff. And like I learned about like the kinds of milks that would make better ice cream. If you put too much sugar, it will be a looser, like a frosty versus a ice cream that you could scoop because sugar and alcohol. So like if you put alcohol in ice cream, that's why when you go to them boozy treat places, they can only put like this much alcohol in it before it's never gonna melt. Sugar and alcohol are the same family. So like they impede the cream from freezing if it's too much.
This is one of the best things.
Good times. This is what hyper focus gets you, bro.
Like my inner kid is just jumping up and down. I'm about to buy a damn machine right now.
Yo, I have a theory.
Please.
Oh my God. I'm like, am I going there? We're going there.
We're there.
Like we're there?
It's there. The ice cream, yeah.
So I was looking at all these ice cream makers, like different kinds. I had 2 small ones before I graduated to the next one. But before I graduated, I did all this research. And I'm like, why can we like get those ice cream makers that you like have to freeze the thing first and then you put the liquid in? That's like your base level, right? That's that shit from fucking Easy Bake Oven, right? Like freeze the canister and like churn it away, right? And I'm like, this is just not effective. Right? So I'm like, let's graduate. Let's look for something that has like you plug it in and it stays cold and it just turns. So for the longest time, I couldn't find anything in America that was like a home, like a price for like us, like regular people. So then I decided it was a conspiracy, right? Because why go from basic bitch to extravagant bitch, right?
Gotcha.
There was no housewife bitch. There was no middle lady.
See, this is why you got along so well with this spiritual thug. Like you just talking right with.
And he got me. He got me started on that shit. But it was just a lot because it was too much date them for me, y'all. It was just I was like, oh, he's about to say something very spicy. So I was just like, I didn't want people to associate us just in case he said a word that I couldn't like get out of. I was just like, I'm gonna take a nap. But had we got to the part where we could mutually conspiracize, bro,
you should just talk to him about ice cream. You're like, by the way, these ice cream machines.
It wasn't fitting with what he was serving. It was not fitting.
Quite literally, the ice cream server. Love it. So you got your ice cream.
Yes.
You were doing that. And then your art.
Yeah, I switched.
And by the way, is it the art that because I came to one of your art shows.
Oh shoot, you did come to that.
I did.
It was that.
Come on now.
Thank you.
I'm here to support.
Thank you. Oh my
out
gosh.
in Brooklyn. Please let people know more about that.
Yeah, that's the one that stuck. That's the thing that like, I did start that in the pandemic, and when you saw that. You came to that art show. It was like 1 full year of doing it, and it was my birthday, so I had a show, and but then I kept doing it, and people like it, but it's like less about people liking it than more so like I was going through some stuff, burnout and health and all that stuff, and I needed something to stop like. And your hands are dirty, so you can't pick up your phone. Like, it was really doing stuff for me that I wasn't realizing was that I needed. And it made me quiet. So now I just keep making stuff. And I notice how I feel. So if I'm having a not good day or I feel just generally shitty, it comes out in the art. And to me, I'm like, oh, that's ugly. I can't show nobody that. And then when it's good, like when it's hitting, when you're having a great day, like I feel like today I'm having a great day, and after this I could go back and make something really beautiful.
Let's go.
Like, that's how I feel.
With some ice cream as well, maybe.
With some ice cream as well from my commercial but not commercial machine that I finally found. All that to say is that conspiracy is that they're trying to keep us from making ice cream at the crib, because why not? If we all had better machines, we could just make ice cream and sell it to each other.
Oh.
No, but they keep the fucking high price machines at the restaurant and don't give the middle niggas anything to do.
I mean.
And then what? You just gonna do that freezer machine like twice? Because it's whack. That's all I want to say.
Capitalism.
Because capitalism.
I mean,
yeah.
Look, that's really. And we're not gonna, but I don't even really think that's that crazy of a conspiracy.
Yeah.
a lot of the times, a lot of things that could make life easier.
Yeah.
Or we could do things ourselves. They don't want us doing. They want us to go and shop and go to whatever places.
Whenever they give you some half-ass equipment, that's part of it. And there's no option to do better. Because I'm like, I'm over here trying to do better. I'm trying to make better ice cream.
Right.
And they like, the machine will cost $1,500. And I'm like, I don't understand how that, I'm like, a mini fridge, I just need y'all to put the churner inside the mini fridge. Put the churner inside the mini fridge. And then can I have it? Can I have it for like $300?
So
that's all I wanted, bro.
So are you basically what I need to know is are you nice with the ice cream? Like, could you
when I concentrate? Yes.
When you it's nice.
Yeah.
So what's your like thing?
What's
your flavor or which is that you make great?
I had a good one. I made an Earl Grey. I tried because I was like, put tea in it. Like I was just in them. I was like, put cookies in it. Put tea in it. I was just trying mad things. Yeah.
Whatever.
Turns out Earl Grey is delicious. It's not delicious as tea, but it's delicious as ice cream.
So wait, hold on. Sorry. So is it vanilla and then you put the leaves?
So I steeped it. I steeped it into the milk. So like I boiled the milk instead of boiling water, and I just let that shit just get all the leafy flavor. But I had left it in the bag, so I don't have those leaves floating around. And then you just you turn it up and you put as much like sweetener as you want.
Johnny, I feel like you could copy. Like, have you?
I'm saying, well, I mean, it's Brooklyn, so they got fancy ice cream everywhere. So like,
I have never heard of that, and I am saying this as an ICC, an ice cream connoisseur.
Really?
Yes, I have a name for it.
Oh my God. Okay.
So
I'm in.
Johnny, I'm just saying, I've never heard of that in my life.
Yo,
Josh, have you heard of that? Okay, I'm just saying.
Earl Grey, y'all. Just put some tea bags in there.
And I'm as someone who does enjoy tea. Look, I'm Ghanaian and fucking English, but they colonized us, and one of the things that they brought over was tea. Okay? So I drinks tea.
Yeah. Oh,
Lipton,
you know what's a good
Earl,
flavor?
all of that. Okay.
I didn't make this one, but I had the Thai iced tea, but as ice cream.
She said,
Clutch, y'all. Yeah. Delicious. Thai tea as ice cream. Then I just put a bunch of cookies. I just did a bunch of shit. Yeah.
Look, hey, podcasting, I get it. I get it, but things can happen.
This is it.
Okay? Carvel, all of them, I'm
gonna have to dust off the machine, bro. Like it's just been waiting for me to come back. Yeah.
You put it in the store. Oh.
I mean, it got to be because I was showing it on social, and then like I couldn't tell if people were serious or not, so I felt more harassed. They were just like, when you gonna bring me some? And I'm like, is this real or is this a joke? Like, I'm just sitting in my house right now. Like, I was just like doing a thing for peace, and then it got weird. And I was just like,
what you mean?
It just got weird. Like, yo, like, I don't know, but the ice cream thing got weird. I can't explain it. People were like always telling me like, you could sell that. And I was like, nigga, I'm trying to heal.
Yes.
Like, I'm trying to just have fun and do a thing. So it just felt like pressure. Like people saw like a fun thing. And since they know me for like, oh, TK's a hustler, and I was like literally trying to learn how to not hustle, So it was like, I'm doing all these slowing down practices and I wanted to show folks, but then they like put the grind and the hustle on it, and they were like, you should sell it. I want some. Can I pick some up? And it just instead of becoming like, well, this is a fun thing you do, awesome. It just got weird to me.
So I completely understand, right?
You
have something that you're doing that is holistic and that is organic and and is there to bring you peace and tranquility. And all of these people here are trying to commodify that.
Yes.
I hear you.
Yeah.
However.
I know.
I'm already salivating here, and Josh is nodding along with me. Earl Grey tea.
Yeah.
With the ice cream. Delicious. That's, again, and this is art. This is people don't give, this is culinary art.
It was, I had a good time doing it. And I would say, if anyone's getting into it, one of the books that I go people because like people started giving me like recipe books and shit. Like they was like, "Oh, you into this shit?" But I felt like they were crossing it over into, "I want to give you this thing so you can like make it into a business." And I was like, "Bro." So anyway, the Ben and Jerry's ice cream book. The Ben and Jerry's ice cream recipe book is legit. It's not hard, and like anyone can do it, and also just like like you trust Ben and Jerry's. Like they're the only white hippies I trust.
I mean, they definitely have scientists that are like
Yeah.
coming up with those. So, by the way, because I think as an individual, what would you, if you, I mean, you probably, maybe you can, what would you call that ice cream that you make, the very special one?
Oh,
Like a Ben and Jerry type style, the Earl Grey one.
yeah.
You
Well,
got
would
a
I
name
name
for
it? Nah, man. Cause I ain't stick with it that much. Bless you.
There you
I
go.
just like literally would just make like one time. What would you call it? Bless you, bless you, bless you.
No, that's me. That's me thinking of this ice cream. Is my
Yeah.
body is telling me to get up and get some of that ice cream. What would I call it? I would call it wow.
Bless.
You know what? I can't think of it right
Yeah.
now. Or just EGC.
I would name it after
or
like my
E,
favorite
know.
TV show at the time. Like, so I'd call it like Earl Grey's Anatomy. Like,
Ooh!
we have it. Is it Earl Grey's Anatomy?
I mean, because those are the kind of puns that you see with
the thing,
Ben and
right?
Jerry's, like the Americone something.
Yeah.
or Jimmy falling.
And I was Meredith
whatever.
Grey for Halloween
That's-
once. So, wait, no, I was Meredith. Yeah,
That's it.
my best friend.
That's
was
actually
Christina.
it. That's actually it.
That's it. Earl
And
Grey's
I can already see it.
Anatomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just with the mix of Earl and Girl Grey tea and the pistachios. I don't know. Whatever.
Ooh.
See, yeah, you got me.
Mm-hmm. Got you started.
Damn, you got me damn distracted. I'm supposed to be asking you talking about like not going up. But I think that's brilliant. And whatever you decide to do with it,
Yeah.
that's great. But if you ever have like a even level pop, like a little pop up,
Yeah.
little ice cream thing,
I did
All
want to
I'm
have
saying
some
is
ice
I'm
cream at the thing, so maybe at the next one. Oh, and you know what? Real quick,
talk to me.
a easy way to impress people is fucking fruit ice cream, like strawberry,
Yes.
because the sugar. So you have to like bring the sweetness out of any fruit. So you put you macerate it. You put sugar and you put a little lemon juice and you put it in the refrigerator for like a half hour, and it gets all gooey and juicy and all the shit is coming out. Yo, real strawberry ice cream, bro. You impress anybody's mama, bro.
Right.
Facts. Just go and get you any recipe from the internet. Motherfuckers love. It's a fresh ass strawberry ice cream, bro. That shit is on. That's all I
love
got.
Strawberry,
Yeah.
it's not. That's not a sherbet or a yogurt. No,
like a proper ice cream.
this is ice cream.
Yeah.
Because
And get them
automatically
fruits.
I put fruits with
Yeah.
yogurt or sherbet, and I'm not.
No.
That's
And it's a
that's not my
flavor that
vibe.
everyone knows.
Yes.
And then when you tell them, "Oh, it's homemade," like niggas be like, "Oh, because like something about the strawberry
Excuse
just
you.
make that shit hit, and people like are super impressed. But it's not that hard. So like, it's not hard at all. It's just you just gotta treat the strawberries kindly, like in the recipe.
TK. I already told you I was already impressed with the podcast, but this
Yeah.
kind of took
I'm
it
just
over
trying
the
to give
trip.
you major keys for like life. You know what I'm saying?
I
For
mean-
impressing the whoever all coming over.
I told you I'm the ICC ice cream connoisseur, and this is it right here. We were talking about your art, but
Yeah.
that's art in and of itself.
Yeah.
But just real quick, like what kind of art was it? Like was it
Yeah.
because it was a mix of stuff. Like it was some painting, some pottery, some kind of things like that.
Mostly like it's a kind of pottery, I would call it. So I had to, we couldn't go anywhere, right? So I wanted to do I saw people doing it's trending now. Like ceramics. It's like, you go and you throw, but we couldn't go outside. So I was looking for something you could do, but I like it to be functional, like a plate or a cup or something. So I found this thing, it's a resin. So I work with resin like epoxy, which looks like plastic. And I also work with something called aqua resin, which is like It's a powder, kind of like a plaster, but it's harder, right? And it's like a liquid anyway. The science makes it hard. Yeah, the science makes it hard. Right. And you have molds, different molds, like a mold of a plate, a mold of a vessel, a vase, or whatever. And you pour it, you mix it properly, color it, you pour it into the thing, and you wait for it to set. And that's way faster than all that other process, ceramic process. But the outcome is very similar to bisque fired clayware. So like when you fire it that first time out of the big oven, it kind of like has that white chalky look. That's what it's kind of mimicking, but like within 30 minutes. So it sets, you're done. So then my challenge is, how do I make mass produce, like if you buy the same mold I buy from Amazon, we making the same product, right? So how do I make my thing stand out from your thing? So I do shit like I break them and I reset them different colors. I splatter shit on, like I do all kinds of, I stick things in them and I make sure they don't, like they last forever. Like I just try different ways to make it look different. So if it's trending on like, because I look at my algorithm is all crazy. It's like ice cream and crafts and, and then like hot mess. It's my algorithm is spiritual thugs and conspiracies. It's ridiculous. It's off. My algorithm is way off, bro. Right. But like if it's trending on Instagram, I tend to see like more plain stuff, and then I want to go, okay, how can I take the plain thing and make it like my way? So I kind of go nuts. Yeah.
So I mean, is it so unlike your ice cream and other stuff? Is this art now? This stuff. Because I went to a show, like this is stuff that you sell and that you like to be out there. So
I do like it to be out there. I don't make it to sell, but I will sell it.
Okay, got it.
So I'm trying to figure that out, like how to not. We're all hustlers, you know what I'm saying, and we come from a background of.
Oh, we're getting to that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We trying to make it, and everything is like, oh, but can you sell it? Or, oh, I could have did that better. Like, oh, like, why did you spend money on that? And I'm like, well, because A, I like art, and B, because like it's okay to spend money sometimes on things. Like it's okay to do an activity and not sell it. So like I'm trying to learn. No, like I am not the best example of like, oh, I just want to keep the art to myself. Like that's why ice cream got weird, because like I started to fall into the thing, and then I don't want art to get weird, but also it's a different kind of tangible. I will have shelves of this shit in my house if I didn't sell it. What I've been trying to figure out is, when am I in the maker phase? And when I'm in maker phase and I'm just showing it on Instagram, I just like be like, oh yeah, I just made this today. Just having fun. Like I try to, but then when I'm in like for sale phase, 2 nights only, check my Instagram stories. That's it, 48 hours, done, right? Because I need to release myself from the get money of it all, because it's so deeply ingrained. I will sell you anything if you let me do it. Like
you're like, well,
but it's not healthy. I
have some water.
Yeah,
if you want that? Okay, gotcha.
I was like, I see you over there. Well, you must be thirsty. Oh, you want some water?
Let me get that water for you real quick.
$1. Like,
so I mean. So speaking of that background and speaking of that struggle, because you're Haitian, and I'm guessing your parents are from Haiti, like,
yes,
okay, straight from Haiti. So have you ever found yourself that influencing your art and your approach to art, and that can be whether podcasts and also that kind of struggle that you have of not wanting to hustle, but need to hustle because of things that maybe your parents have said, and that I don't know, Haitianness.
It all shows up in the like tenacity, right? Like Haitian people we go in, so once you there. So like that's where it shows up for me. And then it's the hustle. Like there's nothing that can't be turned into a job. And it's exhausting, bro. There's nothing that can't be turned into a job or something we can do for someone else, So like, if it's like if you display any skill, it's a wrap. Like, so if you want to rest, you don't show nobody your skills, right? Like, you don't show them. But if you want, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be out there, then let them know. Because it'll go from you were just like, oh, I'm just helping my friend with these floral arrangements to I'm decorating a whole wedding.
Right.
It just happens so fast. So like that's where the
and I think
the work ethic is where it comes in.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because everything is about production. So
yeah,
and it's about people asking, oh, I mean, really production is, oh, how can you serve me? How can you how can I take a skill, a need for you to get, to get healed or connect or something like that. Oh, but because it's a skill that can be translated into making money or making money for me,
right?
Or whomever.
Yeah.
Oh, why do? And do you so you're still struggling with that, or it's like an everyday struggle?
It's getting better for sure. I had to, you had to let people know. It's so weird because I feel it. Like, so somebody asked me, I put up some stuff on Instagram and someone said, oh, TK, let me know I'm ready to buy. And I was just like, what do I say? Because like the answer isn't like no, it's just like not right now.
Right.
And I'm like, how do I reply and leave the door open still, but also like let niggas know that like I'm just out here to like right now I'm out here to have fun. So then that's why I call it maker mode. So I'm able to answer people. So I'm like, oh, I'm in maker mode right now, but I feel like I might be selling some stuff around the holidays.
I mean, that's just you putting up boundaries, really.
That's what it is. Yeah. And then you realize that the world is really bad at boundaries.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't. Facts.
Wow.
Yeah, I realized most of it is we just are really bad at boundaries, and we're really, like, as humans, we're plugged into people pleasing, right? And it also, like, not just as humans, but as people that live in groups, families, and right? So, like, your caretaker from infancy to whenever, right? This is a person you want to make happy, or you want to make sure that their mood doesn't change. Like, you want to do all the things to make the person people pleasing, right? That's where it comes from. So you want to say yes. So then you start to extend that to like the outside of your tree rings, like the external people. So you're like, well, I like to have fun with my cousins. So then like, I just will like I'm down for whatever. Well, my friends, and I don't want to make the friend group feel weird. So then you start letting, it creeps, strangers, right? Oh man, I love that thing you posted, or I love and social media makes us feel closer to people or makes people think that they're closer to you than you are to them, which is a whole thing called parasocial relationships, which plagues a lot of podcast hosts. Get ready.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, get ready for that. Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, they're gonna act like you're gonna say a couple things. I've had cookies brought to my door. I like mentioned that on a show I used to do, I mentioned that I like a certain kind of cookie from Trader Joe's, and I was having a party like around that time. So my address was on the internet because of this party. And there was cookies at my door. Now, I was very broke at the time, so I ate the cookies.
You're like, hey.
But I was more careful after that.
Right.
So it's like, we so used to people pleasing, and then it creeps in where like folks think y'all have a relationship, and it just gets harder to say no. So all that to say is it does get hard to say no, especially when we are trained to, you know what I'm saying? All of our skills can go towards the rent.
Wow. Because, I mean, I think of a quote.
Why say no if you can, you know what I'm saying?
If you can just,
If you can turn that energy into something that will help you with something else.
A coin.
Yeah.
To help you. And, I mean, I guess two things. It's so sad that is how we have to, because that's what people talk about with our current life, and that you shouldn't have to work to live.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't,
or live to work,
or
right?
live to work. Yeah, rather live to work. And that shouldn't be the case where you constantly have to be thinking about, oh shit, maybe I should turn this very genteel, natural thing that I just like to do into commodify and change that into making money. Because that shouldn't be the case. But that's how, not only how we've been conditioned, but that's how the world is now. Anyway.
It's how it recognizes your value. So like, am I an artist if I don't sell shit? oh, what does it say if they don't like it, right? What do you think? Am I? Or are
Oh
you?
no,
Like,
this is me completely agreeing with you and keep talking that talk.
nah, I'm just like,
You know?
yo, it's fucking tough, bro. Like, I mean, I decided, like I said it, like recently, maybe in the last year, I was like, someone asked me what I do, and I just said, I'm an artist. And I stopped talking. And it, like the world didn't crash in on me. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you were waiting, like,
Oh,
wait,
you just,
the lightning strike? Nope.
oh,
We good.
I'm good. Oh shit. And then they were just like, what do you do? And I was like, oh shit, I can talk about it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also feel like that's kind of a New York phenomenon because of other places I've been to, like especially like Colorado, or in Denver specifically, where they're kind of just focused on. Hey, the question would be more like, oh, where did you last ski, or like, hey,
All right.
what's the thing with nature? Or if you go to a place like Los Angeles, they would ask more like about movies and things like that. But New York.
Yeah.
Is so focused on honestly, the first question is, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I've switched that recently to like, what are you most excited about these days? Like in regular conversation, because I'm realizing through me and also through like friends that are going through similar things that like we're more than our jobs, clearly, right? Like I'm hanging out with my friends and I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were like a master gardener. Like my homegirl like called like the USDA some shit and like got her garden certified as a cut flower farm. I was like, so what do you mean? She was like, my property is a farm, like legally.
They're in New York.
No, this is
okay. I was about to, I was
this
like,
is in like
what?
in the Midwest, right?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But it was just like I was like, you could do that, like. But it's like we're so tapped into this like work mentality where that is the first thing about your personality, and that is also something that I don't say like has been following me, but like if you just know me from podcasting, then I tend to be like that guy, and they don't know things about me like anywhere else. But that's also the most advertised part of me. But no one asks. So I'm like learning to ask people like, instead of what do you do? I'll find that out eventually. Like, cause we're gonna be talking.
Right.
Well, so then what are you excited about? Like, that's what I'm asking these days.
And do you find that a lot of the times with that question that it actually doesn't have to do with work? They're actually thinking of something they're going to be doing on the weekend or something like that?
Like it'll be, it all varies too. Like, so sometimes people are like, oh, well, and it'll tell you something personal, like, oh, I'm excited to see this person. And I'm like, oh, why? And then it's like, it leads you down a path. Like, why are you excited to see this person? Why, where are you going? Or they'll be like, I am starting a new job. But like, it's not about the job. It's about their excitement, right? They're like, oh, I'm really looking forward to starting a new thing. And I'm like, oh, I love that for you. Ooh. And I still don't know what the fucking thing they do. Right. But I'm excited for your excitement. So I'm learning to try some different things than the New York, what do you do?
Yo, everything. Because, I mean, I guess I've known you, but you're right. I've known you in a very exclusive and very small way, which is through your podcasting, which would make sense.
Right.
You were my educator at one point. You're helping me with this podcast. But yeah, you're right. Asking that question about excitement.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, maybe you've talked to a Wall Street guy that would be like, yeah, I just made $500.
And guess
$5,000 or something.
I tell them, awesome, spend it on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, where are we going tonight? I'm going to affirm you in the way. You like talking money? Well, then talk more bucks. Like,
right. But that would still probably lead them to talking about, I don't know, how they went about it or how they feel,
Yeah.
Whereas, just what do you do? Yeah. It
or even it leads you, okay, you made $50K today, just off your little computer.
Right.
Well, then they go into, well, I'm going to buy this. So I'm going to treat my kids to a vacation. Like it opens up the door for more than just, well, what do you do?
Charlie, I'm taking that because that question is just, and I feel like these are maybe some of the skills social skills that we kind of lost during the lockdown, and then I feel like once we got out, we were like, we're outside.
Yeah.
Fuck it. We go like, times 10.
We do.
So we're doing the job thing, and then we're just,
Yeah. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, exactly. And then you just go straight to the work, and then all right, and then I guess we're spending time together or we're not. Hot damn.
Yeah, man. It's a whole new line of questioning right now for 2023.
What are you most excited about?
Yeah.
Because that looks at life and what you
just never know
who you are.
Yeah.
And I'm learning all these things about you. I'm even more excited knowing you because of course it reveals different dimensions about you.
Yeah.
But I guess I will ask, why is it that with your podcasting or with your audio knowledge that there wasn't really any conflict with you making money from that as opposed to as opposed to your art, which are all things that you're really good at? Why is it that that's the one thing where you're like, that's fine?
Because I wanted that to be my job.
Okay.
Like I wanted to choose it, right? Like I didn't want it to
choice.
I wanted the like with nursing, I did not really choose it. I was pushed into it. I was pressured into it, and I was feared to they instilled the fear in me to make me stay.
Who's they?
Family, society,
bills.
Okay.
Bills.
The Bills was Bills was like, you can't do that, and
okay.
Yeah, and I kept doing it every year. I was like, I guess let's do another round, sure. And then it's 16 rounds later, like then it becomes okay. I feel every year more and more worn down. So the perspective I have from that is that like there's a million things about the podcast industry / the media that we could do without, and that I'm very like open like about that. Like I do work for equitable rates and stuff. So there's a million things for me to be dissatisfied about, but skills wise, I'm using my brain on podcasting in a way that I want to make money and I was 16 years spent not. Right? Just not. So now I know how that feels.
Right.
So I made a choice and I like that choice. And like when I do decide to leave podcasting or media, I would like that to be another choice, that I make and not people make for me.
Fair. But to really go back on that, because I kind of want to talk lastly about the future of podcasting and where you see the industry going. And what are those things that you were mentioning that you were like, we can do without? Because we've seen how journalism and that whole industry has kind of taken, road for the worst. We saw a strike with the writer's strike. That thankfully ended well, but could have been very different if AI and all of those protections against labor took over. So what do you see with podcasting?
Very similar.
Okay.
Very similar. And it's only a matter of time. There was a big boom during the pandemic, right? Because no one could go and make shows, right? You had to be swabbed down. So then everybody will switch to podcasting. Everybody had enough downtime to put their LLC together. And now it's too many people that don't know how to run a business, trying to run a business. And so like now we looking at layoffs at a massive rate right now in 2023 in podcasting and also in other associated media, right?
Like Gimlet, like from
so
Spotify,
many people, because like I could quote you some places today, and then 7 more will lay people off in the next couple months, right? I think there's gonna be something is gonna happen because I think, and I don't know how people feel about this, but I'm gonna just go there. I think producers are the backbone of this industry, and producers are the least appreciated and the most overworked and the most underpaid in the podcast industry, right? So like if it was a triangle, so the person at the top is getting all the ends, and the producers at the bottom and all this shit in between is what's on the producer's back to make the host or the show or the entity look good. And these folks, we just like, man, getting shafted on a lot of different things. So there's a lot of like pay wage issues right now. There's no real standardization. So at some point, someone's gonna be like, I'm tired of this shit. Who are we striking against? And this when I'm gonna be like,
just Ozzy Buzzy.
just waiting for the text to come through.
Yeah.
What block are we? What block are we gonna be on?
That can be your moment to have get your PD Green on, right?
Yeah,
and talk right,
and bring my ice cream out there. Sell that. Well, I'll sell it to executives. I'll give it to the to producers. But yeah.
But who? I mean, I guess who would be who are the people at the top? Because I know you mentioned shows and like that. But who are the people that you think are doing the exploiting or exploitation?
It's everyone.
Or it's like a multifaceted.
It's a multifaceted thing. Just like how the world, different workers in different industry are exploited, and I might not know what's happening with the workers at Amazon. I just know that someone is stepping on their neck to make them pick out 1,700 items per hour, right? So like in our industry, there's a different version of that, right? And since the bar, I don't want to say the bar is low, but they think that like there's so many people want to do this work, and so many people want to tell good stories that like they know that, and they're like, well then, your rate, though it's an equitable livable wage, your rate is too high. I will hire someone for half that. Man, that's why it's like hard for me to be fully out. Like people tell me, they're like, TK, why are you not doing this hosting or whatever? And I'm like, I'm just waiting for someone to offer me an equitable rate and tell me that my rate is not too much, that it's actually a livable wage. Like I've put it through the fucking calculator. I know, like I'm like, I know that I've also been, I'm part of the population of people that have been gaslit so much that like, I think going in, my livable wage number, I know it's a livable wage. And then when they're like, well, and then I start thinking, am I crazy? Did I ask for too much? And then I go back and I'm like, no, like that's the number. That's right. Like you do spend 40 hours doing this. Why did you second guess yourself? And like, it's because, like it's going to come back is all I'm saying. It's going to come back. We need to standardize some shit. We need folks to understand the true value of the work. And when like the companies, there's companies that make stuff. Then there's companies that make stuff and then hire other people to make stuff. I just say all the people in the Zoom room, every time you're in one of those meetings, I realize why the budgets are the way they are and who's getting shafted. The people that make, cut, edit, put the music down, these niggas make the show, right? All these people on the Zoom talking shit, them niggas got to get paid. And who money is it going to come out of first? Producers. Because there's just, this is, when you produce a thing, when you make a thing, like you love this show. So like, if someone said, we want to take over your show, we want to buy it, we want to distribute it, but we don't want you to produce it no more. Like, would you let them take your whole show away?
No.
Right. And that's how when you enter a job and you love this work, producers you love it so much that you're like, well, and then they hit you with that righteous talk. They're like, so this is a women-led, black women, they add everything, disabled niggas, oh my God, like everything. And then you be like, oh, you know what? That's a good cause. I'm going to do it for half. And then guess what? 17 niggas show up on Zoom getting paid higher than you.
Right.
But you cutting the show. You adding the music. You fucking scripted it. Nah, it's coming. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Whatever it is, it's coming.
I don't know what it is, but I support it.
As the spiritual thug said, that rapture, it's on its way.
It's on its way.
I don't even know who this guy is, but he just seems to be like
he's part of the show now.
Avatar in my show, and I like it. Spiritual thug. That's
Okay.
And I think maybe that's something I have to, because I'm just getting to this game now, but I'm just trying to be very wary because I'm seeing how all of these industries with all these creatives, I mean the music industry even, and how the people that are doing the creating, the people that are doing the work, somehow are getting the least, and yet I don't know what executives, the top, whatever you want to call them, the people that I guess just what negotiate or
Yeah,
do they even really do that?
negotiate.
Yeah.
No, it's a negotiation. Everything is a negotiation, and you need people. It's like that's it's all about negotiation and presentation. So like fake it till you make it. That's huge in not just podcasting, but in entertainment. You fake it till you make it. So if we could make that background look real shiny, I can trick anybody, and like. I can't go no more.
Yeah, you said that's seat.
I can't. I was going to sound like the guy on the train. I said, shut it down. Shut it down.
So,
shut it down.
Because, I mean, that's fine. And, I mean, we were talking about your Haitian background, and I'm seeing that come through.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are two questions, because as a Ghanaian American, Africans, but Ghanaians especially, we love Haiti. We love everything about Haiti, from Toussaint, I can't say his last name, Louverture or something like that.
Yeah.
So there are two things. One, are there any notable Haitian people or figures in your life that you hold in high regard, or that you think of, or like that was talked to you a lot by your parents? And then two, do you speak Haitian Creole?
Yes.
Okay. Then my next question is, do you have any favorite phrases or any favorite words in Haitian Creole?
Oh.
So those are the two things. Haitian people or Haitian figures that you hold in high esteem and that are always, in the back of your mind, whether they're musicians, actors, politicians, and then a favorite Creole phrase.
Okay.
Or word.
Okay. Well, my parents, I would just always listen to whatever they were listening to. So like Haitian radio was always playing, or my grandparents' house. And also like that's how you get the political news. So like that's who I realized, like, where the lines were drawn. And so like they had a president that used to be a pastor. He was a priest, and he became president of Haiti, Jean-Bertrand Aristide, right?
Okay.
But he was also killed. Right? Like that's what happens to your heroes. But I was like, if there's something about this guy that my parents like, they like F with heavy, like they're like the impassioned conversations. Then I realized like this is a dude for the people. And the people haven't had that in a long time. This was like the mid-90s. So I'm just responding to like
and
adult.
the U.S. probably saw that. They're like, oh, we can't have that. We can't have that.
Find a way.
Yeah.
So
did
they kill him, or did he exile himself? Either way, he's not there no more.
Right.
And I just feel like I need to do my due diligence while.
Because the person I always hear about is Papa Doc.
Yeah.
Baby Doc or something.
Yeah.
They were the ones that were
no good dictators, killers.
Of
you
course,
know what I'm
once
saying?
Again, the U.S. was like,
they were with it. They love that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to kill this guy in this podcast talk. So let's look him up real quick, and I can clean that up.
That's fine. Okay. So were there any? Are there any notable Haitian musicians or artists or whatever that either influenced you through life? Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I got it. Okay, real quick. Let me clean that up. They didn't kill him. They exiled him, though.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, he's still with us. Praise the Lord.
Yes.
Just have to give him a woo. Yeah.
And what was his name again?
Jean-Bertrand Aristide. Yeah. So
them Haitian names.
It was a lot of name. It is a lot of name. Musicians. I mean, I listen to old compa because that's what my family listened to. So like Tabu Combo, Zen, old Haitian compa music. That's what I'm ready to rise up for. Karimi, right? That's that like like that Haitian close dancing.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are some, or if you have any favorite Creole phrase / word that you just every now and then pops into the head that you got to use or that you say to describe something that you can't really find in English?
Okay, well, I mean, I just gotta give respect to the OG phrase that everyone knows, sac passe.
Okay.
Hey,
I mean, I heard Rick Ross say that a couple times, so that's why I know that.
And the appropriate response is not boule, right? Okay, that's it. We're out. It's out of the way. Because I always feel like the minute somebody says you Haitian, it's coming.
It is coming.
It's already here, actually.
You know?
That phrase got to the conversation before I did.
Right.
Like, yeah. But like, I also like to respond. This is my favorite phrase or way to respond to that. Instead of not boule, I'll still say not boule, but like, I'll say nous la, we here. Nous la. Au moins la, I'm here.
Gotcha.
Real casual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out
You
here.
just cool with that.
Yeah, I'm out
Yeah.
here. We here. Nous la.
Okay. And by the way, just so people know, right, Haitian Creole is not French.
No, sir. No, sir.
No.
It is not French. Of course, it's like some sort of amalgamation derivative from the language,
Yes.
but it's two separate monsters because, like, I could understand Creole because of my family, and that was my grandmother's language, and that's what she taught me. But I cannot understand French in the same way. So, like, it does help immensely. Woo.
Just say it.
I went on
right.
vacation with my mom, and we went to Paris for a few days, and I was surprised. Like, she was doing a lot of heavy lifting because, like, she learned formally when she was a kid in school because colonizers going, that's what they're going to teach, right? So she was doing the heavy lifting, but I was very surprised at how much I understood because of, like, some of those words crossing over and stuff like that. So I was just like, it's not the same, but it is similar. But if you're not gonna recognize, like, like you go over there and they like act like you have 3 heads, and I'm like, bro, why? Like, there's a TikTok or there's a thing going around on social media, and like, here's 2 guys, and one guy is French and one guy is Haitian, and they're like, let's say the same phrase in each language, right? And the French guy, and it's gonna be me projecting, but I don't give a fuck. Like, let's go. Fucking clip this for social and put the video up.
Right.
This is my commentary.
Yeah, there you go.
French guy.
Editorial support. Here
right?
we go.
Listen, French guy is like tree. And there's apparently a different word for tree there.
Yeah.
And then Haitian guy says tree, but in Creole. But every time the guy from Haiti is talking, the French guy like laughs like, huh, that's a weird way to see it. Like, that's how and I was just like, that's what I don't like.
Yes.
That's the shit I don't like.
Yes.
Like, that's weird. That's lesser. That feels, and that's like, there's an attitude of that.
Yes. That's superiority to the.
Yeah. And sometimes we do it to ourselves, to each other. Like, you already know.
I'm here.
If you don't speak the mother tongue, then you're not Haitian enough. Or, okay, well, damn, you do speak it, but you don't speak French. Well, you don't come from like real schooling. And I'm like, I can't keep up, y'all. Do you want me to, can I play with y'all or not?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's annoying.
It's very annoying.
And I mean, one of the most annoying things that, uncles or aunties that would say is that, because our language is Ewe, and even though I can understand it, I don't speak it the best, but it's pretty good. But they always say, you're American, you don't speak the language, as if it's our fault. What am I supposed to be? What I'm supposed to be knowing the language when I'm like age 1, 2? No,
yeah,
you can't make fun of me for not knowing the language. It's your responsibility to teach me.
And also, let's recognize, because they be mad, you get to a space, you get to a space of like, you can't talk with them, right? Or sometimes, or then they want you to talk with them back in the language, but then they realize they was pushing assimilation so hard that like, I didn't do this to us. Like, yo, what I'm saying?
We're not the ones that should be getting blamed.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
But I mean,
and it's never too late, right?
That's right.
It's never too late. But it's just weird to expect a thing that was not fostered. And I love our people, but the fervor to be one with this society or the pressure, not the fervor. I don't think niggas was like running to become American.
That's right.
But they was running to have opportunities. So like, what happened was, some things got left behind.
Yeah.
I can't be blamed for that, though. Yeah.
There you go. And again, for me, Haiti will always, have like the biggest, and it does have the biggest respect, because you would think that there would be several like movies on and on again about the slave revolt because
Don't
it's
nobody want to pay for that.
Right. I think it's the only successful slave revolt in history.
The only successful Black slave revolt in the Western Hemisphere, I'm sure of.
Right. That and that the people won and started their own. Like you would think, especially with all the talk about freedom, we fight. We'll never be slave. Like we y'all did that. Like we won, and y'all became free. All of that.
Yeah.
And somehow,
yeah.
And they have the nerve to turn to Haiti. I mean, Haiti was paying France like a dowry or some sort of money because they have the nerve to be like, you killed our slave owner, so you owe us money till like 1940 something.
Yeah.
But then they have the nerve to be like, oh, why are you guys so poor? Why are you guys struggling?
And they make you, them. You see, I'm getting down that fucking avenue. LeBlanc,
whatever.
But that's part of like it's not a brainwashing, but like I'm trying to think of the word. But it's part of like a cycle, right? Like gaslighting. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you won, but I'm going to make you pay for it. And then it's going to follow you. So then the gaslighting literally becomes systemic issues that you can't get out of. And now, you know what? You got to borrow money from America. Now we owe these niggas. Okay, wait, I'm confused. Like, how many people do we owe?
The Haitian earthquake that happens.
2010.
And it's supposed to be Red Cross. And they're like, oh, yeah, all this aid is supposed to go to the country. No. Didn't go there. No. It went just straight to the pockets. Maybe there was a couple, something shelled out, and then the rest was for that.
It was a lot. It's a lot still.
You know what? I want to play a game.
Let's play the game.
Because I'm upset, damn it. Yeah. Colonization sucks and Black History. But this game is quite simple. It's called This or That.
Okay.
Like that hip hop song. It's a little bit of this, real like that. And basically, you either pick this or that.
Cool.
You got it?
Yeah.
That's it. Let's begin. Afrobeats or compa?
Wow. I do not want to get my card pulled.
It's gonna happen regardless, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Or not. Who knows?
I'm gonna wow. It's terrible. Terrible. I'm gonna just say Afrobeat right now.
Oh. You're going against your own motherland.
I know.
Your own people.
Because I think it's just in the streets so hard. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what Creole curses are coming out right now, but
they're sending them down there.
They're saying
I ain't gonna be able to sleep tonight. That's what happens. Yeah. I ain't even going. The rest is just too raw. It's too raw. Well, because Afrobeat is in the streets right now. We can, I can rock to it.
I'm Ghanaian, so
that's true.
It's okay. But...
And they do play compa at like mixed, diasporic parties.
That's right.
But it don't stay on long enough, right? So like, I just need us to have our moment. I'm there when we do though. But right now, yo, I love the videos. I love the music videos because it'd be like, I call them African hot boys.
Yeah.
He got a gold chain on and the glasses and his haircut is like, this is the avatar in my head. But I just call him the African hot boy. And I just I love that shit. That nigga's in every music video with a shirt that has a lot of gold in it,
right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Afrobeats, huh?
Yeah.
Over your own company. Okay.
Right now.
Right now.
At press time.
Got you.
Yeah.
Mountain or beach?
Beach. Done. Love
Quick.
a beach. Yeah.
You're not about that hiking life.
I'll do it.
I mean, if I must.
I love all vacations equally, but I like to lay out faster than I'll climb something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Say less. Podcast class or podcast episode?
Ooh, so like to listen to versus to teach?
That's right.
I mean, podcasts. That shit sound like a lot of work. And I'm like, Okay, so wait. teach a podcast class or listen to a podcast episode or what? It's just whatever.
Whatever.
I was gonna go with class, but I'm gonna go with episode then.
Mm.
Yeah, because then you just like if it's an episode of listening, it's done. But
what if it's an episode that you produce? Like you're producing.
Okay.
How about this?
Yeah.
Both you're getting paid for, right?
Yeah.
You're teaching the class. You're producing the episode.
Oh man.
So like and you're getting paid for both.
Yeah.
Obviously. Which would
just I mean, because I would say producing the episode, just because it would be my baby.
Yeah.
You know, that would be my thing. I could control it.
But
hopefully,
you're gonna have several babies in that podcast class.
Yeah, this is true, and I do believe that. It's a lot of babies, though. It's a lot of work. I did it a lot. I did it several times, and I was like, "Oof, I'm tired, dog." Yeah, it's very.
But don't you get that? Didn't you get that
I
feeling
did.
when you saw your baby's coming? Graduating and everything.
And people getting jobs and stuff. Oh, trust, I'm planting seeds. It's me.
Listen, it's me.
When I come back around and I'm a elder and I'm gonna be talking that shit about what do you call it? Age discrimination.
Oh, okay.
I just want y'all to know, don't discriminate against me. I'm gonna be 700 years old.
That's right.
Ready to
come through.
Needing a production job when y'all are the heads of stuff. So
but podcast episode.
Yeah.
That's what you're going with.
If I'm just be on my 1-to-1 shit, yeah.
Got you. Laptop or phone?
Oh my God. Phone, because you could trick it out to do laptop stuff. Yeah. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? Smartphone, let's just say.
Okay, fair.
Smartphone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's mobility, all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you. Audacity or GarageBand?
Audacity. Yeah. If we're gonna do budget shit, there's something about like I could see everything in Audacity. There's actually ways to, so like people think it is mad budget. It's free. GarageBand is free if you buy the computer. I don't have a beef with either one, but like the controls and the buttons, they're so basic. They're too basic, right? But then Audacity, I can at least trick it out to do what the more fancy programs do. You know?
Fair enough.
You got to look that up on YouTube. Yeah.
So how about this? Audacity or Hindenburg?
Oh, Hindenburg.
Oh.
Fam, we're just... It's like they took Audacity and like they were like, oh, like how do we just make this easy? Like, yeah.
Got you. Okay. Plantain chips or fried plantains?
Fried plantains. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're saying plantains or plantain?
Oh, don't start.
Okay, we're not doing it.
Nope. It's never been plantain. Whoever those people are, how dare you? Josh,
we
what?
say.
What's happening? Huh?
You say plantain?
You said plantain? It's plantain, okay? It's always been plantain. It's never plantain. What is that? Huh?
In Creole, we say banan, and that's all you need.
Oh, you know what? Fine, that works. I mean, that works, but plantain.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Rap or R&B?
Dang. Depends on what phase of TK.
Nah.
I'm in that day.
It's this or that. Rap or R&B?
Rap.
Rap.
Yeah. I love them both, but like, what's gonna get me hype at one? Like, I could find, you know what I'm saying? There's something for every occasion.
You were about to be like, depending on what?
Yeah,
what you
know, mood,
you
vibes.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to. Sometimes you have to cry, like, and I need R&B for that, yeah, or not. You know, it's like sometimes you just need R&B to be R&B.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Now this is a real healthcare one, and doesn't necessarily have to be for you, but
yeah.
Anyway, pill or injection?
If the injection gets me out of taking a pill every day, you know what I'm saying? Injection. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like when they when they have the vaccine, I didn't have the opportunity to take the Johnson & Johnson, but my mind understood I could just do this one time. Yeah. So pill over injection over pill just to like not have to do like the frequency.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And you see, I like how your mind went that, because I'm pretty much pill. It don't matter.
Yeah,
Because
doesn't matter.
I don't like.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Oh,
And it's
wow.
most of the time it's not a big deal. Like
Yeah.
whatever. But I do not like needles or anything.
No, that's wild.
Yeah.
Like so like everything is just you just try to
I'll
solve
I'll
whatever
take the pill.
option.
But of course, hey,
Right. You'll thug
vaccine,
it out.
Yeah,
You have to
work.
do.
But I'm definitely pill guy.
No. My mom, she used to do take blood as part of her job, and I didn't realize that she was practicing on us.
Oh.
But she was practicing on us. Like we had to have physicals anyway.
Yeah.
So we would have to go get our blood drawn. Well, she drew our blood and then she took it to the lab because my uncle's the doctor. So like she's just basically is going to work. Like, and I was like, as I grew up, I was like, oh shit, that's how she figured out how to do it. She was just like, I got you.
Got your little test subjects.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. House party or club?
House party. Easy. Always. Forever. Always and forever. A house party. Yeah. Nah, you just show up. You're like, hey, everybody happy to see you. Or like you walk through. I love that shit. You walk through the crowd. Dap, dap, dap. All that. House party.
So there's no club. There's no club where you don't matter VIP, all of that. The most prime club that will never match a great house party.
It wouldn't. Yeah, no.
Okay.
It will never match a great house party. Not for me.
Done.
Yeah, love a great.
Even if it's your house where you got to do the cleanup afterwards.
Oh, I mean, I've had so many of those.
Yeah. Like, no.
I don't mind. I love to I don't have to go out. Bring the people to me. Psh, easy peasy. Then you just tell everybody bring a bottle or some shit. You're set. Boom, house party. Done. It's done.
It's like what I'll tell you.
Anyway, that I don't have to leave the crib.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Lastly, host or produce?
Oh, host. For me personally, I've done a lot of production. I've done enough production to know that like where I'm at in life right now, I would like to host. I would like to show my like skills off in this, that kind of setting. And I just know that like I want to be up the triangle a little further, bro.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, like it's my turn to get from that bottom to the fucking at least middle of the triangle.
Gotcha.
And then like this nigga Jeff Bezos is here with I don't know, and other company owners are at the top, but like I'm ready to like get up in that triangle.
Yeah. Damn it. Okay, host, I got you.
Yeah.
Well, TK, please let the people know what you got going on. Any cool projects that are coming up, anything in your future, where they can follow you, all that good stuff. Let them know what's up.
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram is the best place. So Instagram, and it's not Twitter anymore, but that other place.
Whatever. I'm gonna keep calling that. Like just like they can't try and do with Chicago. Like they're like, it's the Willis Tower. Nope, it's the Sears Tower. Thanks.
Oh, I was like, what is that? See?
There we go. Yeah.
The minute you said Sears Tower, I was in the building.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
That other thing.
Yep.
Well, I'm on those platforms at Tasty Quiche. Tasty and Quiche. Keish, because it's my first name,
Yep.
Keisha. And then and I'm experimenting with TikTok. So if y'all find me, it's cool. I'm just, I'm not ready yet, but I'm open to being found. So yeah, those are the places. And I'm just thinking about doing something with this train idea, podcast that has to do with wellness, creativity, and me riding the train. I'm gonna shoehorn that part in. The rest is very well thought out.
Any spiritual thugs gonna be in there?
If they're there, I'm definitely gonna record it next time.
There we go.
That's how I knew I had a show. I was like, oh, what if I had just recorded that dude? I missed the moment.
It would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, TK Dutes,
yes,
by
sir.
the way. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for helping me with this podcast and helping me develop my voice. But also you being here and bringing your voice, because you are amazing. You are so multi-talented. You are a multi-hyphenate. And now knowing more about you and all these facets, you're amazing. And I'm glad some people can hear more about you, and can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Thank you, bro. I'm glad to be here with you. I'm glad to help you on your journey. And I ain't going nowhere, so let me know.
We here.
Nula.
There you are. Oh, Nula. Oh,
yeah.
I'm taking that.
Take it.
Nula, thank you. This has been African Time. Thank you for listening. And appreciate y'all. Until next time, peace.